presentation today. My name is Rachel.
Jay.
Margaret. And today our presentation is over two articles. One is called Make Way for Millennials by Cheryl G. And the other one is called Managing Millennials by Hannah Cho. Before we begin our presentation, I wanted to give you a quick overview about how the presentation is going to go. I'm going to begin by giving you a summary about who millennials are, followed by Jay, who will go over education and debt related to millennials. Margaret will go over millennial talent and loyalty, and then I'll end the presentation with our final article, Managing Millennials. So who are millennials? They're also called Generation Y. They are between the ages of 18 and 34, which is most of us in this room. Some of the characteristics associated with millennials: they are highly educated, but either unemployed or underemployed. They also have huge amounts of debt, living at home longer with their parents because of that, and waiting longer to get married and have children. They are also lacking soft skills, and I'll have Margaret later go into that in further detail. So now I'm going to hand it off to Jay to go over education.
Thanks, Rachel. Good afternoon, everyone. So I have good news and the bad news. So I'll give you the good news first. Millennials are on track to becoming the most educated generation ever. Part of that reason is the recession that happened in 2007 and the years following. Most millennials chose to stay at school, finish with degrees instead of going and facing a bleak job market. As an example, there was a survey that was done in 2014, and it showed 34% of 25 to 29-year-olds held a bachelor's degree, master's degree, or a doctorate degree. And as we all know, education is not free, and there's a cost associated with that. And that's the bad news. So I'm going to direct your attention to the graph on the top left-hand side. That shows the percentage increase in consumer prices first quarter of 1978. This is adjusted to inflation from 1978 to present. As an example, food has gone up 257%, shelter has gone up 370%, medical care has gone up 634%, and look where tuition is. More than 1,200% up from 1978. To put that in numbers, we'll look at this graph, and that shows the average debt per borrower in each year's graduation class. So if you're in the 1993 graduation class, your average debt after college would have been less than $10,000. All the way to present, and in the class of 2015 had a roughly $35,000 college debt once they finish their college degrees. So what does that all mean for millennials? It means that 19% of them have postponed marriages because of their college debts, 30% have postponed buying a house, and 29% have postponed buying a car because of their college debt. And so there was a survey that was done by a personal finance website. It's asked its users the following questions. Would you sell an organ to erase your student debt? Would you be willing to turn your life into a reality show? Would you sign up for active duty? Let's see what the results are.
As many as 30% of millennials are so desperate to get rid of their student loans that they would be willing to sell an organ to do so. And 38% would agree to take part in a questionable medical study. These are two of the findings released by the website My Bank Tracker, which surveyed 200 of its readers this past summer to determine how far they would go to erase their school-related debt. In terms of other extreme measures, 55% would turn their lives into a reality show. However, the participants had their limits, as only 43% would be willing to sell half their belongings. And 68% would reportedly refuse to join active duty in the military. In an interview with Forbes, the website's co-founder hypothesized about these millennials by saying, "I don't think they're making drastic decisions or would take drastic measures, but what it does tell me is that they'd rather get rid of their debt quicker than adapting to it over time and making it a part of your day-to-day reality." The median age of the respondents was 32, and their student loan debt averaged about $34,500 per person.
about some hard skills and some soft skills. So what are hard skills? Hard skills are skills that can be taught and measured. It's like, an example would be like using a computer or a mobile app. And so technical skills is something that millennials are familiar with. And many of you that are here today, are extremely technical savvy, and that is your asset. And today we use common applications like Excel, but we are lacking the knowledge or understanding what the basic functionalities are. And employers are looking for you not to be experts, but they want you to know just the basics of some of these tools that we use on a daily basis. Soft skills are skills that are developed and can be strengthened over time. And as we know, millennials like to use texting as a form of communication. However, we can't lose sight of the face-to-face interaction. And in a business environment, it's important for us to have that face-to-face conversation because it helps us to connect with peers and build rapport. And also, it allows people to know you as a person. We'll go into loyalty. Oh, forgive me. Teamwork. Teamwork, when we all graduate or even when we do internships, we are going to work in a teamwork environment. And so we're going to go in and we're going to question how to do things. And we're going to break that barrier of, oh, we've always done it that way. So what we want to do is go in, and if we find an area that needs improvement, I advise you to take the opportunity to make that improvement and share it with others. And because at the end of the day, it's all about teamwork. Problem resolution is a must in any environment. And employers today are finding out that employees aren't following instructions or directions, and therefore it's taking them a lot longer to do their job. And so what I say to that is, if you don't know a process, you need to ask. And asking a question leads to competency, and it will allow you to finish or resolve that issue a lot quicker. So don't ever assume, because more than likely that's going to be the wrong decision. Loyalty. Employers are voicing more and more that millennials are not loyal to their companies. However, millennials are saying, no, we are loyal. We appreciate the job security that we are receiving and the training that we are receiving. It's priceless. And for community, many millennials before graduating high school had to complete some sort of community service. And so this has carried forward. And so many have taken opportunities to volunteer in local organizations or local communities. And this is good because it promotes that you want to be a part of that community, and it also helps to build leadership skills. Family and friends, we all have family and friends, and the time that we have with them, we cherish that time. So work-life balance is a topic that employers are recognizing more and more. So work-life balance is about balancing your financial success with your personal success while still having a life. And you shouldn't have to choose one or the other. So if work-life balance is important to you, when you're interviewing, you need to ask about that. And the response that you get will give you a pretty good insight as to what the workload situation is for that department or that position that you are applying for. Rachel will now speak about managing.
So this slide has to do with the second article that we read. It is called Managing Millennials, and it's directed towards potential employers or current employers that are of older generations, such as the baby boomers or Generation X. It gives them 5 tips to work more harmoniously with our generation. The first one being, your ways are not their ways. So for older generations, they need to allow our generation to give their opinion and ideas in order to inspire and innovation. The second tip was offer digital freedom. We are the generation of technology, so allowing our generation to bring new social media platforms or new methods into the business will also create innovation. The third point was volunteer together. We are also known for this as being a social generation. So by volunteering together and doing outside activities, you build a stronger relationship, more loyalty, and therefore increased employee retention. The fourth one was give them a voice, and this kind of coincides with the first one by allowing our generation to voice their opinions and give new ideas. It also inspires innovation. And the last one was it's more than money. And this is my favorite one because I do agree with it. It's not just about salary coming out of school. I'm looking for their stock options. Can I see my net worth grow along with the company due to my hard work? Are there bonuses for hard work and incentives? And is there work-life balance? I know I've given you a lot of information, so I'm going to go ahead and summarize just a few of our main points here. Characteristics to our millennials, they're between 18 and 34. We have a lot of debt, and as Jay said, about $35,000 coming out of school. We also are a generation of technology, but the article did say that we lack in direct communication. Now, I love this little cartoon because I think it summarizes our entire presentation. We go to school, we're very excited to graduate, and then a lot of us can't find any jobs because of competition or environmental reasons, so we move back home with our families. I can kind of relate to this right now. I have a lot of student debt. I'm also working 2 jobs. I have an internship, and I work at a veterinary hospital. I'm raising a 3-year-old. Don't ask me how I do it, a lot of coffee.